Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This is the L Summit Obsidian. It's finished off in silver zenith, and with the options, MSRP is just over $107,000. Now this is powered by the Hurricane engine. This is the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, pumps out 420 horsepower, 468 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the full-time 4-wheel drive system, propelling this 6,400-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. It has a top speed of 118 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 30.5 gallons, and you'll expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 130 inches. Its overall length is 226.7. It has a width of 94, a height of 75.6, and its ground clearance measures in just over 10 inches. However, this does have the height adjustable suspension, so you can adjust that as needed. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice this has a really sleek front end design. Up top, there still is the Jeep traditional design for the grille. However, it has a much different look to it with that gray trim accent in the lower section. Now, this also has a forward camera. There's a sensor for distance pacing, all of the parking sensors. There's also tow hooks on both sides as well that blend in nicely, and a really neat design for the LEDs. So you'll notice the headlights, high beams, DRLs, and turn signals that blend in nicely with that grille, which also features an LED DRL that runs from headlight housing to headlight housing. And then the lower section with the DRLs and fog lights have a nice integration with the rest of those trim accents. You'll notice Jeep is at the base of the hood there, and then there's some nice lines that come down both sides. Now, as we work our way to the side, you'll notice the gloss black from the front bumper works its way to the fender flares. This also has a set of 22-inch wheels with that two-tone design. You'll notice Grand Wagoneer along with more gloss black on the bottom of the side step, and it's also on the power folding side mirrors, which have a camera and a turn signal. You'll notice Jeep stamped in that lower section as well, and then this is also paired with the gloss black roof, so it gives it that two-tone design. There's roof racks and then a full moonroof up top. And then as we take a step back, for being a jumbo 3-row SUV, it has really nice proportions, giving it a great side profile design. You'll notice too, there's more two-tone for the door handles, and then once you open the door, of course, that power side step will deploy, and when you close the doors, they will fold back up. Now, as we work our way to the back, it has a very flat rear end design to it. You'll notice there's the wiper blade in the lower section, and then there's the LED bar that you can see running through. Now, there's also parking sensors, and then this can tow around 5,700 pounds as well. It does feature remote start, so once you lock the vehicle, you can double tap on this middle button and start it up. And then just hold on that same control in order to shut it off. Now, for the rest of the key fob, on this left side, if you double tap this control, it will actually lower the vehicle, and that will be your easy entry and exit. So if it happens to be in its highest position, you can do that before entering. And then the button on the right side is how you can open up the lift gate. Now, the glass does not open. It would be nice to see that slide or open, but that is fixed. You have two controls underneath. On the left side, you can lock the vehicle. On the right side, that is how you can open the power lift gate. Now, this is a 3-row SUV. As you can tell, I have a box on the right side right now. With that third row up, that is the amount of space that you have. So it's nearly identical to a 2-row SUV with the amount of space that is in the back. So with the third row down, you have even more storage space, which is fantastic to see. Now, on this left side, you'll notice too, there's a few hooks. There's also a speaker. You have the control to close the lift gate. There's also some storage under the floor where you can place in some additional rack systems as needed. And then on this right side, you have all the controls for the second and third row. So you can fold these up and down with the push of a button, which is fantastic to see. And the operation is very quick. There's also a 12-volt on that side as well. And then being a big SUV, you don't have to reach up for that control. So you can easily use that as needed. And as we work our way to the interior, this does have proximity door handles, so you can grab any one of them to lock and unlock the vehicle. And for the interior, you'll notice there's the manual sunshades, so you can use those as needed. The Macintosh audio, lock and unlock, lots of leather and some nice trim accents, and then lots of storage in the lower section. Now this model has the captain's chairs, so you have the adjustable armrests there. They do move forwards and backwards, recline and incline. Easiest way to get into the third row is push this control by the headrest, and that is how you can slide that seat forwards and out of the way. So at 5'10", I can basically walk up into this third row. Now you'll notice the third row does recline, so you have those controls, which is nice. There's some storage, drink holder, the armrest. You also have these controls in between the third row and second row, and you have some more storage in the lower section. Now, as far as legroom goes at 5'10", it's really not all that bad. And I have about an inch or so, inch and a half of headroom between the moonroof for your third row. So this is a pretty comfortable place to be. Being able to recline the seat slightly as well makes it super comfortable. So honestly, I could have 2 other people my height in the back and be nice and comfortable for a drive. So this is a functional giant 3-row SUV that you can pack full of people. Now, as we hop into the second row, there is a bar underneath that you can use to slide the seat. This model is also optioned with the screens in the back, so that way you can have some entertainment for your rear passengers. There's also storage pockets, and then right in the middle, you have this massive LCD screen to go through all the climates, the heated and ventilated adjustments for these captain's chairs. There's also auxiliaries down below. You do have a remote for those screens, and then cup holders in the floor there. And then at my height, I have about 2 inches or so of headroom, so slightly more, and you have the adjustments, of course, to recline the seats. And then you also have the armrests up there. There's also a camera for the third row passengers there, so you can see that from up front. And then for the driver door panel, these are all of the seat adjustments. Now, when I turn the vehicle on, we'll be able to get into the massaging seats and a few other controls there. You have the window adjustments, side mirror controls too, and then even more storage in the same design. Grand Wagoneer is also on the side of the seat, and this has the full leather interior. And then with that side step, makes it much easier to enter and exit. So let's start this back up, and we can go over the rest of this tech. So for the digital gauge cluster, there's quite a lot to go through using controls on this left side, where there's also Bluetooth controls too. So if I start using the arrows, you'll notice we're on number 1 right now. So you have the speedometer, and you can go through 2 different settings here depending on how you want to view that information. There's also some driving info, and then you have quite a lot of vehicle information to pull up and scroll through. So you can monitor all of this depending on what you need to see. There's some trip information, the navigation, so the map here when you have that on and active. You also have a few of the off-road settings, so you can monitor all of this. You have the trailer and tow to make sure that you have everything hooked up correctly. There's audio, messages, and then you have screen setup. And this is how you can configure your upper right, the upper left. You can adjust a few of these depending on what you would like to see fixed at all times. You can also push on one more control and go through a few more settings here and scroll through them as needed. So you have a home screen basically, where you can adjust all of these depending on all of this that you would like to see at once, which is neat. And then on the back side of the steering wheel, this also has volume and tuning adjustments. Cruise control settings are on the right. There's also this gear limit, so you can use that for towing especially. And this also has an automatic steering wheel, so that adjustment is down on the left. Now also on the left, there's the e-brake, dimmer switches, headlight adjustments. There's one air vent. This also has a head-up display showing miles per hour, speed limit sign, and what gear the vehicle is currently in. Leather for the dash. And then with this massive infotainment system, there's a lot to go through. So on the home screen, you have the split view where you can even add some widgets. There's also media. You can get into all of your climates and go through the heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. This is also how you can get into the seat adjustments, or you can use those controls on the door panel. So now with the vehicle turned on, you can see massage along with adjust and the memory seating adjustments and all of the actual seat controls. But it is nice to see that depiction on the screen. This also has massaging seats, so you can get into all of that information and then adjust the rear climates too. Now you can pair your phone. You can also get into vehicle and go through all of this information. You can fold the second row, the third row headrest, you have your ambient lighting, the power side steps you can adjust to, and even the family cams. So that was the camera I showed earlier where you can look into the third row and the second row too. There's also 2 more tabs up top, so you can get into dashboard where you have off-road information. You can look at the height of the suspension, and you have a few others to scroll through here as needed. You can also get into the GPS trail. So you can actually record where you've been and save all of that information. So that way, if you want to go somewhere again, you have your recorded trails, which is nice. And then there's various settings to get into to go through all of these as needed to set it up to your liking. There's also various apps that you can scroll through and get into depending on what you need to see. And then you can also get into the navigation. Now this also has the heated and ventilated seat controls on the side, along with the heated steering wheel. There's volume tuning. You can even shut this screen off as needed. Now underneath that, there's physical buttons for your climates, along with some defrosters, and then lots of storage in the lower section with auxiliaries and wireless charging. Now you can actually hide this away, so push on this button on the far left, and now you have an additional screen that you can go through. So this is basically for all of the climates. What I just showed on the upper screen, you can get into your seats, your massaging seats, even the rear controls. So you can keep your climates fixed here while you're going through other information up top. Now also under that screen, there's mute, engine start stop, auto hold, and lane keeping assist. There's the hazards, traction control, parallel parking, parking sensors, tow and haul, and then a control for the passenger screen. So you can turn that on and off. This is going to be similar to the rear screens where you can go through a little bit more information here, but your passenger can get through all of this as needed. There's also any notifications and controls to hook up for your Bluetooth and your headphones there. So that is neat to see. Being able to turn that on and off is with that control. Now there's also a few different driving modes. So you can go through all of these as needed, and they will adjust on the gauge cluster here. It will also adjust the height of the vehicle depending on the mode that you set it to. You also have that height adjustment on the far right, so you can do that as needed individually. And then behind that, there is an off-road cruise control, basically, downhill assist, and then four-wheel low. Now the rotary dial in the middle is how you can change gears, so twist it once for reverse. And you can pull up even the forward cameras as well. And then you have drive, and you can go back into park. Now there's also cup holders with a little bit of space. You can hide those away. You also have space in the armrest here with an auxiliary. So you can hide that away as needed, but you can also open this up where you have a massive amount of space. Now there's also a locking glove box, Grand Wagoneer just above that, and then a digital rear view mirror. So that way you can get some more visibility, especially if you have this packed full of people. Up top, there's a sunglass holder, all of the sunroof and sunshade adjustments, dome lights, rear liftgate, garage door buttons are on the sun visor. There's also some call buttons too, and then lots of visibility. Look at how much glass there is for this jumbo SUV. It definitely makes it a lot easier to see around and drive while you're out on the roads. As we sat off behind the wheel now for the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, I've put about a half a tank through this model here, and this has been a really nice vehicle to drive around. It is massive, so if you need a vehicle of this size, you are going to have plenty of space. The one downside with how large it is parking, but it honestly hasn't been all that bad. This does take up, in some cases, more than just the space that you find. So parking is going to depend on where you can find that you're going to fit, of course. So you can't just take the first spot you see unless it's something that you know you can fit. So the more you drive it, I've been driving it a couple days, it's really not hard to get used to its size. I drive a lot of vehicles, so I can adapt to this fairly quickly. But other than that, it's been a very nice vehicle. Especially having this adaptive suspension out on the highway just cruising, it's been very nice. It is so quiet, very laid back, comfortable. This is a vehicle that you can really rack up the miles on and just have that luxury focused experience with this Jeep. Now, with it being $100,000 as well, it is an expensive Jeep, but as you've been able to see, you have quite a lot, and they do start much less than this, just depending on the options and the trim level that you would like to go with. Now, in terms of the seating position and the room that you get for your driver, at 5'10", I have about 4 inches or so of headroom, and the seat does go very far down, so you can be much taller than me and still fit pretty comfortably and have plenty of room for the person who is sitting behind you. So it's a really good seating position. You sit high up, of course, like you're in a pickup truck or a larger vehicle, so you have a good outlook over the front, and just in general, visibility really isn't all that bad for the size of this vehicle, the amount of glass that you have. it's very easy to see all around. I really don't have any blind spots if I look and glance over both shoulders. So it's a massive vehicle, and I hope if you're buying this, you're using it to transport a lot of people. You can use this to tow. It's just going to give you a lot of space and practicalities. And with it in sport mode now, here we go. Pedal to the floor. And for its weight, I think it has a good bit of power. It's a heavy vehicle, but we were easily able to get up to speed and to merge into traffic. So this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Grand Wagoneer. I currently have the center infotainment system off, which is another cool feature. You have a lot of tech here, but if you just want a calm screen, you just want a calmer setting, you can easily turn both of those off with the push of one button there. And it's a nice place to be. I could see going on long trips, driving every day, hauling a lot of people. It's a people hauler at the end of the day, but you have a lot of nice refinements just to give you all of that tech if that is something that you were looking for. It's also pretty easy to drive around the city. I know today's test drive is mainly out on the highway, which I don't do that often with vehicles, but driving this around the city, it's really not all that hard. The maneuverability is pretty good for its added length. There's no rear wheel steering, which I think would be nice, especially for this price point, but in general, the turning radius is pretty respectable for its size. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.